Welcome to another episode of Operation American Dream, where we honor those who fight in the country they fight for. Our amazing co-host, Amy Scruggs, joins me.
Great to see you today, Craig.
You did so well on the USS Midway.
Thank you. What a fun event, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we covered the name of the movie.
No Greater Love.
No Greater Love.
Yes.
So this thing is already winning awards, and you were able to sing at a private screening of it on the USS Midway, and she crushed it. Crushed the national anthem. Great job.
Thank you so much. I love doing that. It's
Great
always
event.
an honor.
Well, you did a phenomenal job. We had fun covering it. So that'll be going into a future show. Today's show, well, we got some amazing guests.
We do.
You've done all the coordination here. What do we have to look forward to?
We've got a doctor coming in, specializes in chiropractics and a lot of veteran outreach that he does. And we've got an upcoming concert we're going to be talking about with a great group that's putting that together. And American Legion's post commanders, so we got some good stuff.
And a big political topic.
We do have a political topic. We're going to be doing talk right from the state capitol. We're going to be
Via
talking to the
Skype.
via Skype to the state capitol to find out some important topics going on with veteran issues right now.
And let me remind you, if you want to engage in the conversation, you can visit with us online. Follow us on social media. We got a show to do, Amy. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Operation American Dream starts now.
We're back with Operation American Dream. We've got a wonderful guest here right now. I'm excited to talk to them about what they've got going on. But we have Stephen Andrew and Michelle Powers, and they are with the World Mission Society Church of God, but particularly the Zion Bible Study Club. They are Deacon and Deaconess. Right. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, because we actually are going to talk a little bit of how this pertains into helping our military. Right. But first, I wanted you guys to share with the Zion Club. This is actually on our university campuses, correct?
Correct.
So tell me about that.
Oh, we have so we are a Bible study club attached with the World Mission Society Church of God, but we have clubs on all the campuses in San Diego County, SCSU, UCSD, Mesa, Grossmont, Cuyamaca, pretty much you name it. But we have a lot of Bible studies with students. We provide seminars as well as one-on-one Bible studies for pretty much any background, even if they're agnostic or atheists.
Perfect.
But we don't only focus on that. We also do other events such as coffee breaks or game nights or movie nights, just so students can de-stress from school.
And you're working with the students at San Diego State University
yes.
specifically,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So just tell me a little bit about that. I mean, are you seeing it expand and grow and seeing the young students come in and want to have that kind of camaraderie and support network? Tell me what you see happen in there.
First, it started off just Bible studies, but then we started expanding further to reach out to community services. What can we do around the community to give back? Because we wanted, in the Bible, there's something called the Good Samaritan movement, so we want to reach out to the community. So now that students are coming in, we want to change the mindset of the younger generation to not take, but to give. So the mindset has changed, and students have come and, in a sense, changed their mindset to no longer want to take, but to give as well.
That's awesome. And Michelle, you are a deaconess, and so you help a lot with youth group, with the church, and then also assist with this organization for the campuses, right?
Right.
So you guys also do some community outreach, like you're saying. It's not just take, it's give. Give me an example of some of the things you are doing in community outreach, and then we're going to touch on this exciting event we've got coming up.
Well, we do a lot of events. We do blood drives. We actually connect with Livestream a lot. They've actually driven down from Riverside to join with us.
Wow.
Because we usually have, like 200 to 300 people that want to participate, and, in turn, maybe about 100 or so, 150 people can actually give blood at the time. We also do food bank, giving canned goods to families in need. Recently, we did a food bank drive, and we were able to collect about 2,800 pounds of canned goods, which feeds about 2,300 families in need. And we also did a recent cleanup with Alvarado Creek, and they're directly connected with SDSU. It was actually campus students who actually gathered from many of the university students from San Diego County, including northern San Diego, and we actually were able to collect 1.5 tons of trash, which is about 3,000 pounds.
Oh my gosh! And are you seeing that word of mouth this is spreading, or that kids want to be a part of something that's giving back? Are you noticing that it's really growing and
Yeah.
changing their mindset?
Definitely. We just mention it, but then they're so eager to just jump out and just want to come join. So we just mentioned that we're going to do an activity, and then they say how many of us can join, and then they sign up. 70 students join this time around.
Oh, that's great. So at San Diego State, you guys have a big event coming up that you've actually partnered with Wounded Warriors. Am I
Yes.
correct? And you're putting together a concert. Tell me about that.
Wounded Warrior Project, as many people are familiar with, they were founded around 2003 to help wounded warriors who were wounded after September 11, 2001. But we partner with them because they have the same kind of mindset as we do. Our slogan is spreading mother's love. Not only do we believe in God the Mother, but a mother in a family, they take care of a person, they give everything for the benefit of others, not thinking about themselves. So the Wounded Warriors, their project, they're always thinking about how can we help the people who
Right.
served our country to give us the freedom to be able to have cleanups or Bible seminars, or have freedom of speech or anything. So we partnered with them to hopefully raise a lot of money to donate to the Wounded Warriors.
So tell me, what kind of concert is it? What are you expecting? How are you promoting? Give me the inside scoop.
So we have a choir of about 50 people. We have an orchestra. We have people singing patriotic songs. I think I heard someone named Amy Scruggs is going to come out.
Might make some
Or
appearance.
Jessica Sanchez, who appeared on American Idol, she should be coming out to sing. So a lot of
that's
patriotic
exciting.
songs. Yeah. So we're having just a full venue of songs, a male octet to sing all American songs, just to touch the hearts of the warriors, just for us to say thank you to them.
This is really an event anybody in the community you want to come out and support. You definitely want to see how many people can make it to this. How many seats do you have to fill for this?
Around 800.
Okay, fantastic. What website can people go to get tickets and get the information?
www.zionwwp.com.
Wonderful, and that's June 25th. Don't want to miss it.
5:30
Sounds like a
to 7.
great lineup, and I thank you so much for what you guys are doing to make a difference. These kids need it on these campuses. They need resources, they need support, they need to learn how to give back. What a great thing that you guys are doing. Thank you for blessing these kids and their families. That's going to be a great concert. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back with more Operation American Dream.
We have a winner! Johnny, you won! You won!
Grandma?
There are certain times in life when you need a neutral third party to call the shots.
I wasn't right. I know, but I wasn't right. I wasn't, you hear me?
Keep it fair. Choose Oakwood Escrow.
Welcome back to the show. Joining us in studio, he served in the Navy, and now he is helping those who have served in civilians like me with just overall health and wellness. Dr. Shane Ott, good to have you on the show. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you here. So let's talk about your service first. We'd like to
Okay.
shed some light on that. So you served in the Navy.
I did.
Share a Navy story.
Oh, Navy story.
I'm sure you got a few.
Oh, I got a few.
Yep.
I went in the military in 1990, got out around 2004, and there's plenty of stories in there.
I would imagine.
Yeah. I don't really want to say any on air.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some
there's
fun ones. But then you also were working to heal wounded warriors,
Absolutely.
correct? That's a more serious topic. Tell us about your service in that realm.
I went into the military wanting to be a hospital corpsman so I could take care of Marines, and that's what I ended up doing. And that's something that I'm very passionate about, that I feel that even as a chiropractor now that I'm still giving back to my Marine Corps and my sailors here in San Diego.
I have a question for you. It's kind of an authentic question.
Sure.
Having served in the military, I mean, there's a lot that are watch the show that serve or out of service now, getting into civilian life. How did you venture into becoming a chiropractor?
Good
That
question.
can't be an easy thing to do. Well, it's a pretty good question.
Yes. Actually, I was intrigued in being a chiropractor way before I even went in the military.
Okay.
I come from a chiropractic background, 8th chiropractor in my family, 3rd generation. So actually,
Wow.
we have no other skills. That's all we know how to do. So
Yeah,
we're pretty good at it, but that's all we know how to do.
How long did it take? So does schooling with that come from military, or is that something you do outside?
You can apply some of the credits that you have
Okay.
from the military, and as a EMT, paramedic, combat medic, I got a lot of credits, but not nearly enough.
Okay.
It requires a 4-year bachelor's degree, and then a doctorate 3 years later. So around 7-8 years.
So now, fast forward us to where we are today, what you're doing. I know that you believe in kind of a holistic approach to health and wellness. You yourself are a tremendous athlete, and you're helping those who've served with chiropractic amongst just overall health. So what's your philosophy on all this? What are you doing now?
Well, what I try to instill in my patients and my practice is in Encinitas is live life, be healthy, and stay active. So as long as you're out there doing something, you're living the life that you want to live and being out there, staying active. We're a very proactive society here in San Diego, so it's actually very easy. Where I came from in Oregon, it was a little bit different society, and I love it here in San Diego because of that.
I have a question for you, and I'll just be full disclosure where this stems from. A couple weeks ago on our show, The American Dream, we had a gentleman on who'd written a book about how mental health actually can affect your back and the way that it just seems like all this stuff is advancing exponentially.
Absolutely.
Or how the way your nervous system communicates. And a lot of it is, in some cases, mind over matter. How much do you believe in that?
A lot.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. It's a chiropractic philosophy that there's 3 things that cause what you're calling back pain, but was chiropractic subluxation or vertebral subluxation, and that's it derives from chemical, emotional, and physical stresses.
Chemical, emotional
and physical stresses.
So
that's
physical,
right.
I think, is pretty easy for people to understand.
Yeah, physical is pretty easy.
Sit in this chair long enough.
That's right.
Probably not good for me.
That's right.
Emotional and chemistry.
Emotional can be anything from stressing about life in general. We're very
Bills,
stressed.
marriage,
Absolutely.
relationships, jobs.
Yep.
Now, how is that going to affect your back? Because I believe you, but how does it actually connect?
Well, everything in our body is put together, and we're all joined as one, right?
Yeah.
And so one affects another. That's why when we're feeling stressed, we say, "Oh, it always hurts right here," and I know it's because of stress. Well, that's an example of the stress producing a pain in our system.
So is it? You can tell how authentic these questions are, very unscripted. So I've had a pain in my back collar that I've attributed to stress. Is it because you're tense, or is it because your brain is maybe sending the wrong signal or releasing stress hormones? What is causing the actual pain? I'm really trying to help people that experience stuff like this.
Absolutely. So, well, me as a chiropractic physician, what I'm trying to look for is what is the cause of that? Is it chemical? Is it emotional? Is it physical? And so low back can be coming from your stress. You're stressed, but you're sitting here. That non-movement is what might be causing that subluxation or that pain in your low back.
It's pretty fascinating how it all works. And isn't it the medicine and science of all just rapidly growing? I mean, it just seems like it. At least we live in a podcast, online, social media world where there's information. There's no shortage of it. But
Right.
Isn't the medicine advancing and science advancing quite quickly?
Yes. Just like technology,
Yep.
we're learning more and more about the system. We're learning that vertebral subluxation or chiropractic subluxation is not a spinal problem, it's a brain problem. It's coming from our brain to our finger where it's pain. We have pain in our finger, it's actually our brain telling us that there's a problem there. And there's your nervous system is something that is an information highway, and it's telling your brain there's something going on there, and there's an obstruction
And
there.
sometimes maybe not. And maybe sometimes it's a wrong signal based on stress or...
Right.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting stuff. So, okay, we've talked enough about where the problems could potentially be coming from. Quickly, give us a quick way to solve and what you do with chiropractic. How does it solve the issue?
How does it solve the issue? Well, movement is life, life is movement. That's what I tell all my patients. If you are moving in, say, your spine, if your spine is moving, you're less likely to have a restriction. You're less likely to have aberrant motion that leads to impingement of or obstruction from the brain to your low back.
So just the movement that you're creating can help.
We have all these joints in our body. If we do not create movement, then they start degenerating. That's just how it is. Because they're obstructed, they're not moving.
Interesting stuff. Well, Dr. Ott, thank you so much for your service. Learned a lot with you here today. Appreciate you coming on Operation American Dream.
Thank you so much.
All right, more of the show coming up next.
am Amy Scruggs, your co-host today with Operation American Dream, and we are back with an amazing guest, Steve Lewandowski, my dear friend. I just want to get right to it because you are such a mover and shaker in the veteran community. You and I go back quite a bit, but you have done a tremendous amount of work with many organizations helping raise funds, raise awareness, and be on the front lines on veteran affairs. And so I want us to touch on that a little bit, but also for my audience to know as well is that you have just passed your baton as the post commander of American Legion's Post 416 in Encinitas. Tell me how that feels.
Good memory, yeah. And you've been so gracious to come up and help us out on some of our bigger events, and we really thank you for that. It was probably one of the most rewarding 3 years I've ever had in being commander of the Legion. We, and I mean our whole team, took over a failing post, and we turned it into the most, arguably the most successful post in the state of California. We received an award called the National Commander's Award of Post Excellence, which goes to less than 1% of the posts, and only 2 in the state of California out of 460. So
wow.
Real happy about that.
We've done Memorial Day together the last 3 years.
That's right.
I watched it grow even this last year, this last one we just did.
That's right.
It was standing room only out there.
Right, absolutely. And we're, not only that, we're really helping out the veterans. We're up around 20,000 hours of documented volunteer hours on behalf of veterans and their families in San Diego County. So that's where the rubber meets the road.
Well, I know how much you are appreciated by the veteran community in all of North County that knows the work that you've done. And, I want to say thank you on behalf of everyone for the work that you've done the last 3 years with that post, because it really is outstanding. And I encourage everybody to go visit the post and get involved and support the new commander that's coming on board with that.
Absolutely.
You also, in your spare time for 27 years, have been the announcer for the polo games. I know that just kicked off, and
That's
you're
right.
going into polo season, right? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, it's summertime, so it must be polo. So, yeah.
So everybody in that community knows you.
Right.
But now you're taking all of what you've done and the foundation you've laid all these years, and you're putting it into the Veterans Resource Alliance. Now that you
Right.
can hand off that baton at the Legion. So I really want to touch on this foundation and what it is you're doing and the great things coming up.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. The Veterans Research Alliance, it's such a noble endeavor, and I am blessed to be able to serve as the executive director of the Veterans Research Alliance. What we do is we fill in the gaps in medical research and programs that are kind of at the fulcrum, or kind of at the tipping point. We're a small organization, but we focus our funds to get it into the success zone.
Okay.
So they're at the tipping point, we push them over into the success zone. And we've got a very worthy program. It's a couples retreat that I'll just suffice to say by saying that there are families that are together because of this program, and there are literally human beings that are walking around San Diego County today that would not be walking around without this program. So it's saving families, marriages, and literally lives, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Very powerful, and honored to be involved with it.
What brought your awareness to have you get involved on such a deep level with this?
I have been, for about 20 years, raising money for various veterans causes. I mean, as you know, we bump into each other all the time because you're doing the same thing. And I've raised money for countless different veterans organizations, and a gentleman that I worked for in another nonprofit, he said, hey, we need to get involved with this one.
And the little light went on and you said, I'm in?
When it's veteran stuff, I have a hard time saying no. Matter of fact, I don't think I have yet.
I agree. I tend to overbook myself sometimes.
Right, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So give me some examples on a few families, or what some success stories have been in this, and how you're going to grow this up ahead. Well,
one of the programs was developed here in San Diego, and this is for couples. And to be in this program, one of the two has to be diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and then they also have to have their marriage failing. They take a test, and if they're in the dysfunctional zone, then they can qualify to go to this retreat. And this retreat happens right down the road here, and they give them the communication tools. They also demonstrate that they're not isolated. We had a couple of couples in a recent program. They both lived by the back gate at Pendleton. And they're like, what, you're in here? You're in here? So they've known each other for 20 plus years in the Marine Corps. and been shipped overseas and all this kind of stuff, but there's a stigma involved sometimes with post-traumatic stress. And
Sure.
this helps to alleviate that. And half of it is just recognizing that there's a lot of other people that are having the same challenges.
The hardest part is the reaching out, for them to even acknowledge, we need help in this area, our marriage, my health. So to reach out and then have a resource there where you're like, I got you right here.
Right.
We're not going to let you go. We're
Right.
here for you. And that is contagious.
Right.
That word is going to spread.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to see what's going to take place and what great things that you're going to have going on to, put the word out there and have more resources. I'll help in any way that I can
Thank
to
you so
support
much,
the
Amy.
foundation, as you know.
Yeah.
And Operation American Dream will have you on. If you've got events coming up or things that you're doing
Thank
to
you.
support these families, come back in, let's discuss it, because this is really important. What's the website for it?
www.veteransresearchalliance.org.
Wonderful.
Veteransresearchalliance.org.
Well, I already know what you're capable of, and I know that this is going to just explode even bigger now that you've got the extra time to put into this.
Right.
And I'm excited, and thank you for all the work that you have done for our veterans, and thank you on the behalf of San Diego that you've made such a difference for.
Well, I have to say thank you to you as well. Like I said, I bump into you all the time in your selfless service to our veterans. So,
Well, let's
we're
keep
both
doing it
on a
together.
noble
What do you
path.
say?
Amen. Let's do it.
Awesome. We'll be back with more Operation American Dream.
All right, now joining us on the show, he is a state assemblyman. He is also the vice chair of Veteran Affairs. Rocky Chavez is on the American Dream. Rocky, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me on the American Dream, because that's what we're talking about, the American Dream for our veterans at the community colleges.
First and foremost, I understand that you served in the Marine Corps, so thank you for your service. And I think that's probably where a lot of your passion comes from, I would guess, right?
Well, once a Marine, always a Marine. I served 3 decades in the Corps, so enjoyed it.
Well, it sounds like your service is continuing. We have a lot of issues that this country is facing nationally and also in the state of California. Tell us about what you're fighting for right now.
Well, I'm taking on a fight that was started by the veterans themselves. It was a few months ago in California, the veterans came to Sacramento and said, we're not meeting the needs at our community colleges. And 85% of all California veterans using a GI Bill go to community colleges. It's estimated in the 113 community colleges within the state, we have 70,000 young women and men veterans who are starting their college career. And what's not being met with them is they have unique requirements, because the GI Bill is only good for 4 years, and they need to get their classes, get in and get out of community college in 2 years. So they wanted academic support. They also wanted to have support with the VA to be able to work with them to make sure they're getting their benefits. And as you know, many of our veterans are wartime veterans, and they're dealing with all the horrors of war, and they'd like to see those medical issues dealt with at the Veteran Service Centers. So this is a total wraparound on dealing with the academic, the emotional, and also the benefits at a Veteran Service Center.
So this covers a wide range of issues. It's a funding for the veterans to the tune, I know, in California, but this also reaches across the country as well. We're seeing these issues in other states, but specifically, what issues does this hit on?
Well, the issue they're hitting on right now are those 3 different areas, but what we need to do, their tab was $25 million to do this in the state of California. And when I met with the federal VA a few months ago, I said, this is a problem throughout the country. And California has 10% of all the veterans in the state. If we can meet the needs of California and show how this as a prototype that help veterans throughout the state, we can deal with the academics, the emotional, and the VA requirements to reach out to veterans. So California Assembly, bipartisanly, Democrat and Republican, have funded $15 million, and it's going to the governor, and it'll be decided on the 15th of June if we're going to get that money. As of right now, it's going forward. But additionally, I've gone to the federal VA and said, I need your matching funds of 15. And I have a number of California congressmen, both Democrat and Republican, who are pushing this issue through. And when we get this done in California, I want to make it a prototype for the entire nation.
Is this at risk of being lost? I know that you said there's a likelihood it's going to go through the 15 million. Is there a chance that it won't?
There's always a chance in California, the budget is competing with a lot of different issues. But as of now, the Senate and Assembly seem to be pushing it forward. I just don't want this to get lost. So I'm asking all veterans or anybody who's concerned about veterans to send an email or a text or a letter to the governor of California, Jerry Brown, and say, let's continue the promise that we've given these young women and men who have gone to war, have fought for this country. Let's make sure that we continue our promise to them. And then I'm asking also with the federal government to continue their effort. This is, I used to be the Secretary of Veteran Affairs for the state of California. $15 million from the federal government is pencil dust to them, but it could save and help 70,000 veterans in the state of California.
So this does actually, with your goals, it's a state issue, and we're seeing this in other states as well, but your goal with this is to also get funds matched from the federal government.
That's right, because as I said earlier, I think it's a great prototype so that when other states want to do this, this is a partnership between the states and the federal government. As I mentioned earlier, being the Secretary of Veteran Affairs, the solution for veterans is not just a federal issue, it's a local and state issue. Communities will come forward and help veterans if they're given a call to action, and I'm asking them to come forward and help me with this call for action. Send a note to Governor Brown and tell him, let's keep the promise by 15 June, support this bill initiative, and I'll work with my congressman to get the feds to do theirs.
Is there anything that people can do in other states with their congressmen or governors?
I think they should definitely go to their congressman and talk to them about what are your veteran service centers? Do you meet the academic? Do you meet the VA? And do you meet the emotional needs of these young women and men who have gone to war and are trying to come back and rebuild their lives? When the largest challenge we have for veterans is transition, and that's going from the military into become a civilian. And the key element of it is the GI Bill, and this maximizes the capability of the GI Bill for veterans to fulfill their dreams.
Well, Rocky Chavez, thank you for your service. Thank you for continuing to serve, as this is a very important issue. This is a bipartisan issue. This is a national issue. Is there anything that we can do to help you?
Continue to pass the word out, and let's take care of everybody. As I said when we started this bill in California, what we learned in the military is that we leave no one behind. And it's not just California, it's the ones in Iowa and South Carolina and everywhere else. Let's take care of our veterans.
Rocky, appreciate you coming on The American Dream. Appreciate your message and the fight you're putting up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, more of The American Dream coming up next. Another great show. Hope you enjoyed it. Amy, had a lot of fun with you as always.
It was a lot of fun today, definitely.
So we got a lot of guests coming up in future shows, a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely.
You've been busy.
We're very busy. We've got some great content coming up, and we're going to want to make sure the viewers are telling their friends to not miss this show.
And you're staying active on social media. She's like the Wizard of Oz behind Operation American Dream, posting our pictures and videos and all this stuff. So I want you to follow us. I want you to follow Amy Scruggs. You do so online. The link is there on our screen. Check us out. That's all for Operation American Dream. Thanks so much, Amy. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to all of you who serve. We'll see you next week.